everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Clone Evolution. Notice my camera's a little bit off today. Try adjusting that. There we go. So how's everyone doing today? I got the show started so soon, no one made it here yet. Now there's a lot of good sports on tonight, so I was like, fuck, I gotta get the show started as early as possible. Now, for a while there, I wasn't sure I'd be able to keep doing podcasting and missing all my favorite sports, but I'm not really missing them that much. And usually I only miss like maybe 20 minutes of it, so it's not that bad. Now, I hope everyone's doing well today. I was doing a little bit more work on my gravity well projects and having some luck with that, so that was fun. Trying to keep positive today. No, I didn't even get my work shift in today, sadly. When I woke up early to go to work, we were like a quarter inch, not enough snow. So I didn't get a shift. Which sucks because I canceled my walk last night because I'm like, oh shit, I don't need to go for a walk because I'll be going to shovel soon. And then the shoveling never happened. Oh yeah, I was thinking I got some more action in the game ready. Remember how I was trying to collect Hitler fragments for so long? And then I finally got a bunch of them? Well, now I should have enough to make Darius. But the only thing I need to complete the recipe is some more extra of these clones. These Chaos Element guys. So I'm hoping I can get more of them. Whoa, 2. That was good that time. Alright, made it to level 179. Jeez, 200 really isn't that far away. Now we have to make it to 180 before we unlock the next stage. Hey, what's up, Orzart, the board Time Lord? What is up? What is up is right. No, yesterday we beat that new dungeon stage. I haven't even tried it since we beat it, so let's try it again. Or try it for the first time. So that's the team we used to win last time. That wasn't so bad. Hey, Fear Legions, how's it going? Yeah, how's everyone been doing lately? Stuck in lockdowns, back to work. I think everyone's got different things going on. You'll never guess what I saw. Remember yesterday I was going on and on about conventions being cancelled. We'll never go to conventions again. Still kicking. That's good to hear. You'll never guess what I found out about conventions. Turns out parts of the states never even locked down. So you can still go to conventions. They showed pictures from some. People just wore masks. Some people didn't even wear masks and they just held normal conventions. So it's like, holy shit, maybe it's not over in our lifetime. Some places it never even stopped. No, I think where did they say it was Florida. Florida, you can still have a convention, you can go to conventions. There's no rules against it in Florida. So I was kind of shocked at that. At the same time, I was thinking, man, even if they had conventions here, I don't think I would go yet. But it'd be kind of nice to know that it's a possibility at least. Like if I really wanted to, I could just buy a hazmat suit and go. Oh, we might actually pull off another victory. Yeah, I was kind of surprised with the whole lockdown situation being forced. Like, what happens if you just owned hazmat suits? Could you be like, hey, can I open my business? I have hazmat suits. Like, there's no risk at all. Would they still say no? Be like, what the hell? You're not allowed to use protective gear that's proven to work. Yeah, like a deep sea diving suit. You could just go to a convention and take the chance, or not even take a chance, just wear a suit. The full body condom, those giant bubble suits. Go to a convention in that. No, for the most part, it was weird. The convention looked exactly like any other convention. The only thing was, few people had masks on. But when you're doing cosplay, you can easily work masks into that, so it wasn't even really that weird seeing people with masks. No, I was getting frustrated with the Mars map when I was doing my gravity well research because I couldn't get any water images. I'm like, fuck, has no one made an image for Google Earth that has water on it so you could see what it used to look like if it had water still? And then eventually today, when I was fiddling around with it, I found the infrared setting. So the infrared one is basically the same thing because it changes the color for how deep things are, or the depth. So in a way, it'll show you where the land would have been, where water would have been. Man, is it ever impressive. Probably isn't going to be impressive for the average person who's never looked at my gravity well maps before, but man, I've been staring at them for years, so getting a little bit of confirmation that they were correct was nice. Now, one of my theories is if there was a giant ridge on the equator on Earth's gravity well pattern, then we should be able to take the gravity well field, apply it to other planets, and see if there's a giant ridge on the equator on theirs. And lo and behold, Mars also has one. So I was happy to see that. On Mars, the equator ridge went through South America, well, their South America, if they had continents the same as ours, and and it goes right in the same spot that ours would have been for the Amazon. So not only is the ridge there, but it created a giant river in the same spot also. So I was like, well, that's a little bit more confirmation, thankfully. Now, obviously, it could just be random chance and it's not really confirmation, but I don't have a lot of evidence to go on at this point anyway, so any evidence is good evidence. Now, Toronto had some weird news. I don't know if I told you guys before that I used to have dreams about getting stuck in a facility that was trying to inject me with experimental needles. And I had that dream years and years ago, and I used to have it every night, and it made me really paranoid to the point where I never really wanted to get any injections of any kind. Like, I would really not even trust getting blood work done. But then eventually I started to get over my needle or fear of needles. I was like, well, I'll take some vaccinations, like maybe tetanus shots because I'm at risk when I'm at work. Kind of need it for that. But when it came to other things like hepatitis and stuff, I'm like, well, I'm not like a raging drug addict for needles, so I don't really have a risk for hepatitis. So I try to stay away from ones that I'm at lower risk from, just to like try to keep the vaccinations to a minimum, even though I'm still getting some of them. So when I started having those dreams of being stuck in a facility, I was like, fuck, I hope that never comes to pass. Because usually repeating dreams I have like that always do come to pass. All right, got flowers from Suki. Thank you, Suki. Let's get some more scent. So the one thing I wasn't concerned about is when the whole pandemic started and it almost looked like it was kind of phasing out, and they didn't build any giant modern hospitals. So I was like, okay, we should be okay. Because in my dream, it was always this really modern, like glass hallway building that I was trapped in. And I remember thinking that I couldn't get out of the hospital or the building, and it was almost like an office slash hospital, and I had to climb out the second floor windows to escape. So then, when I was looking at all the different places they're giving the injections for the vaccine and stuff, I was like, oh, don't worry. They're all old buildings, like even the old convention center and stuff. I'm like, there's no modern glass buildings. And then the news came today that Ontario spent a crap load of money, built this giant new hospital, and they hadn't opened it yet. So instead of opening it to be a regular hospital, they're making it into like one of these new places for the virus. So I don't know if they're really going to detain people there. I hope not. In my dream, it looked more like just an office setting. So it's like you go into the office, you get into a line, and you weren't allowed out of the building until you got your injection. But most people were there willingly. It didn't look like they're like holding anyone down or anything. But I was just the one paranoid one in the dream where I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna butt in the line of people that have going to get it and then get into the line of people that are leaving. Then that didn't work, and then I had to climb out the window. But at least in the dream, I make it out each time. I remember one time I had to run out the fire escapes too. I was like in the dream running down the fire escapes trying to get out the exits. Yeah, not to make people paranoid, but I think what they say 28 people died in Norway after taking the experimental injection. And now they're warning people that it's a live injection, that you actually could catch the virus from people that have a live virus in them if they have a weakened immune system. So if you're someone who's like a compromised immune system, probably not going to want to hang out at the vaccination line. I don't know, I could be wrong about that. I'm not offering medical advice, just offering what I heard. Random speculation. Yeah, what was I working on there? Getting distracted. Ooh, got room for 27. Then what would you guys do? Well, I think it would depend on your age, right? I bet you young people are like, fuck it, let's just go to the convention. You get people in their 20s, like, yeah, let's go to the convention. Then you get people in like their 30s, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't. Then you get people in their 40s, like, oh man, this is really starting to be sketch, right? Like, then 50s. But really, that's the thing. Should all the young people have to put their lives on hold and wait until the world is safe? Might not be safe for 20, 30 years, if ever. So it's like, do you really want to wait forever for the world to be safe if you're not at risk at the time being? Seems a lot to ask them for. Well, people are like, oh, it's just a few years. But the prime years of your life go by so quick. To think it's like, oh, it's just a few years. It's like, well, tell that to someone who's only going to live to be 30 because they don't know in the future they're going to die from a car accident. Now you've taken away the other prime years that they were going to be alive. So, yeah, these couple years that you're just waiting could be the only years you got. You never know. Life is that uncertain. I don't like this idea of just waiting. Waiting for how long? We established 2 weeks, 2 months. Are we at 2 years? Are we going to put a 2 decade cap? Is 2 decades too long to wait? Alright, so we're up to 57. We're getting really close. That's good. I think what I could do, let's show you guys. Fuck, where was he? I didn't even see him. Oh, there he is. See, I got the Hitler I need, even two of them. Got Bin Laden. Got the Dariuses. Really, all I need is a couple extra fodder. I have 0 fodder right now, so that's why I'm trying to make some. No, I was checking online to see what types of hazmat suits you required for, what is it, respiratory viruses. And I think they said a level B or a level C. I can't remember, one or the other. Yeah, and they even classify it. Like they have different level of hazmat suits. So if you're dealing with a respiratory illness or virus, you're supposed to wear a certain class. Definitely paper masks are nowhere on that list being safe to wear for respiratory viruses. It specifically lists like a serious hazmat suit. I still find it so weird that people are debating the idea that masks do something. like maybe 1% effective at slowing a respiratory virus, but really when you're looking at a deadly respiratory virus, should you really be telling people that a 1% method of protection is what they should put on and go back to their daily lives? Like I'd be telling the seniors to like stay home no matter what. I'd be putting all the workers in the senior homes under house arrest. Those people need to be under lockdown if they want to keep their jobs looking after seniors. Like really, not to be mean about it or anything, but those people should have been all the ones under hardcore lockdowns, and everyone else should have been able to continue. Because that's basically what happened, right? It got into the long-term home cares. And then that's what fucked everyone. And I think the problem too is a lot of these young women that work at long-term care homes, they probably have a lot of young kids, and those young kids were getting sick all the time. Or they might be going to nightclubs all the time. Women like to dance a lot. So if they're going out dancing every night and then hanging out at the fucking long-term home care, it's probably thousands of people that they've exposed them to within every week. Not that every PSW is a raging party animal. I'm sure some of them are seniors looking after seniors too. Alright, let's try the Hunger Games. What's been happening? Bet placed. That means I already bet? I hope. Yeah, there's still been no action since the last time. Holy shit, we're up to 3 likes already. Thanks, everybody. I was thinking when I started so early, no one's gonna even make it to the show in time before it's over. Maybe I'll run it a little bit longer and miss a bit of the sports. Nah, I'm trying not to talk about the virus anymore. I've really had enough of it. I'm really just trying to get back to my daily life and try to pretend like it doesn't exist. Because really, my daily life doesn't involve a lot of going outside into crowds anyway, so it's not like really that much has changed in my life. Other than people bitching about stuff on Facebook. Holy shit, the ultimate garbage haul. I guess we'll take the tokens, but man, that's a lot of garbage. Now, I was just listening to an interview with Joe Rogan, Change of Pace, and he had a guest on that was talking about UFOs. And normally it's some crazy guy talking about UFOs, or maybe some sort of academic. And then this one was one of the academic ones. No, this academic, I forget. Yeah, he said he was a professor at Harvard, and he said he likes to laugh because he'll write scientific papers about UFO possibilities. People always bitch and complain about it, and he's like he tries not to care. He just writes it anyway. He doesn't understand why academics are so against the idea of even the possibility of aliens existing. Not that he's claiming he found them or anything, just saying that the possibility exists. He's not allowed to say that. Hey, Suki, how's it going? Welcome back. So that's neat. Like, I noticed a lot of the Harvard professors, or even professors in general, like, I never got to go to university, so I never really met any professors, and now that I'm starting to see them, a lot of them are kind of like on the same wavelength that I think. It's kind of surprising. Like, I never anticipated a Harvard professor to have an interest in talking about alien civilizations. It's pretty wild. Now, his theory was pretty cool. He was going on that he was complaining about the different tests they were doing on atmospheres. Yeah, that was the fucked up part. The COVID relief bill. Who was it? I can't remember what show. Maybe yeah, it was probably Joe Rogan's show too. They were talking about what they sneaked in the bill. And I've heard about sneaking stuff into bills before, but this was fucking ridiculous. Like, oh my god. Whoever snuck that in should almost be ashamed of themselves. I bet you it was Trump. No, but anyways, what they snuck in is they wanted, what is it, federal punishment for anyone caught streaming. So I was like, oh god, that fucking sucks, right? There's something in the bill directly targeting streamers. And I'm sure they're going to say, oh, it's just illegal stream material. But how long till they determine everything's illegal? Like we seen how YouTube started, right? You could stream anything at the beginning. Then it was no images, then it was no videos, and then it was no music, and then it was like keeps going and going, especially to make it a federal crime. Like they're talking about you could spend your life in prison for getting caught streaming. I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me that they snuck that in the bill. Sons of bitches, man. I swear to God, like we are really laying the foundation for like a new leader to come out that will actually be someone drastic, having the exact opposite of what everything's going on. Because a lot of people are calling for it more and more. We've had enough. Right, the blue. Alright, let's try the bounty hunter missions. I really don't think I have enough to beat it, but let's see. How many more do we have to go? I have to get 3 missions, and we got a few days, so that should be enough. Just do the cheap missions. And then that way I can get some Vibram tokens. Ideally, I'd like to do 6 5-star missions, but I really have nowhere near enough bullets. So let's give it a try. Oh, that's good. They gave us lots of 3 stars. Too bad, all 3 stars for garbage. I'm refreshing it. I don't give a shit. I'm not taking that trash. That is the fucking worst set of fucking missions I've ever seen. There we go. There's a little better. No fucking bullshit this time. Now, his idea for detecting UFO life or alien civilizations was really good. He's like, guys, NASA keeps testing for oxygen on different planets. He's like, that's pretty neat and all, but he's like, technically you can find oxygen anywhere. It doesn't really mean anything. He's like, why don't we just test for, I forget, like CFCs? Like the type of molecules that come out of refrigeration units. He's like, there's no way that a planet could create those artificially on its own unless they had an advanced civilization that had built fridges. So I was like, man, if they can detect that in the atmosphere, like why the hell are they looking for fucking oxygen? He's like, you guys are wasting your time. And I was like, yeah, he's like, so right. Like, why wouldn't you look for refrigeration molecules instead of oxygen? That was a neat idea, though. I never knew that, eh? They got these new telescopes that apparently cost billions of dollars to build, but they can analyze the atmosphere of planets like in other solar systems, find out what molecules are in them. So I don't know. I'm really looking forward to the alien life thing. I think it will happen in our lifetimes. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed if it does happen is it's kind of like a clue that we're getting to the end of the simulation. Like, I don't know. It's pretty obvious that the Earth is set up as a simulation for someone. How long they intend it to go is probably all going to go until the plot is finished. I can't see the plot going much farther than aliens. Not that you should treat the universe like a simulation. It's the only one we got, right? Now, I couldn't believe the gravity well pattern on Mars. Maybe I'll show it to you guys if the show breaks down or crashes. Turned out pretty sweet. Yeah, just like the dream world, right? A dream within inside of a dream within a side of a dream. We were talking about that movie Inception yesterday. Simulation and simulation. The biggest clue was when the immortals always talked about what it was like to be immortal. And they said that they envied the mortals because they could die. How else could you not die unless it was you weren't in the simulation? Man, oh man, I still want to spend more time looking at Mars. I can't believe how much more entertaining it is for me to look at the planet once I had the gravity well field to go by to give me some sort of indication of what I was looking for. I've looked at pictures of Mars before, and it never really got to me because I was like, there's nothing for me to associate it with. Nothing I'm really learning by just looking at random rocks on the ground. Suki. It's like I want to watch what television you've been watching. Oh, man. Have you been getting into the YouTube's conspiracy videos a little too deeply? Now, I always found it funny when people give the Jews a hard time. Because it is kind of like the victimhood complex thing, right? Like they're so superior to me. They're out to get me. Now, I always figured too, even if the Jews were like conspiring to like make some huge team to take everyone over, it's like, wouldn't that be something to be proud of? You'd be like, hey, it's like we had this great organization. We're just kicking everyone else's ass. It's like you guys should try to be like copying us to like do the same thing, right? Not be ashamed of it. Now, I always find it funny too when people are like, oh, the evil Germans, they're so evil. It's like, why are you so fearful of the Germans? Do you think they are superior to you? No, I did go through a whole phase. What was it? I was watching the 9/11 videos, and I watched them for, I don't know, years and years on end. Because back when September 11th happened, I actually watched it live on TV. So I was kind of like post-traumatic stress from it for quite a while too. But anyways, I started to look into the different links and how it's like there's that video called 9/11 Missing Links, and it lists like all the people that were rich and had profits to gain from the attacks. And they were listing it's like how many of the people are rich or have connections to different religions and stuff. It's like it is true to a certain degree, but do you really think everyone's meeting up somewhere, giving each other high fives behind when no one's looking? I often think it's like the creator's conspiracy, right? Like the creator has a big giant conspiracy. He has a whole bunch of different things that are plans working behind the scenes. I really doubt there's any mortal organization that's able to influence it more than he can. Now, what really turned my tail when I started to meet a lot of Jewish people. Like, I don't know, back when I was into the missing links videos and stuff, I didn't know many Jews. Then eventually I started to meet more. And usually you can only blame people for something so long until you know better. No, but I don't blame anyone who gets conspiratorial about the different stuff on YouTube. I've definitely been down those roads before. And most of the Jewish girls I met have like huge tits, so I'm willing to cut them extra slack. No, I'm just kidding. Now, who was it? Like when it comes to like ancient religions that are behind the scenes pulling the strings, the one that I like the best is the Zoroastrians. I don't know, it's kind of the same thing as the Jewish thing because like there's a tribe, or I guess I shouldn't call them a tribe, a group of people, a religious group called the Parsis, and they're like a group of the Zoroastrians. I believe they're from India, could be. But anyways, I think what happened is the Zoroastrians, they always fought with the Muslims because their religion and the Muslim religion are polar opposites. Like one's the saint and the other's the devil, according to each of them. So they fought a lot in Iran. So a lot of these Parsis got exiled into India. And then the same thing happened where the Parsis had a big lot of influence because a lot of their ancestors went all the way back to the kings of Babylon, and they had fucking shitloads of money and power. So much so they were the ones funding Da Vinci and stuff. So anyways, everyone got jealous because, like, man, all these religious groups, the Zoroastrians, they always got all the money and they always seem to be behind all the plots. So there was an episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns has his Rolodex of evil, and he's going through his cards, and I forget, he's like listing all the like different Satanist groups and stuff, and then he comes across the Zoroastrians. I was like, woo, put him right in the Rolodex of evil. But then I eventually realized that the Zoroastrians, same thing. They get blamed for a lot of it, but when you meet Zoroastrians, most of them are really nice. Like, I don't think I've ever met a Zoroastrian that wasn't super polite. Almost to the point of like Amish, where they're like weirdly polite. But I shouldn't make fun of people for being too nice. That's kind of me. Hey, Spyro, how's it going? Oh, you'll never guess the good news. I was hoping some Bet Fury stuff would come in, or players would come in. You'll never guess what happened. I was like checking out the different Bet Fury reviews on YouTube, or not YouTube, on Google. You know how you have to check reviews on stuff to see how legit it is? And I know the other game I play, Entropia, a lot of people post comments that it's a fake game, and that it's a scam, and that you can't withdraw. So I know for a fact that that isn't true because I play Entropia and I've withdrawn plenty of times. I know it's a hard game and I know it's not easy to withdraw, but it's definitely not a scam and it's like all this. It's actually like cutting edge. So that's basically the same thing that's happening with Bet Fury. Bet Fury is such a new casino that a lot of people are calling it a scam and all this stuff, saying they can't withdraw. But then I haven't seen any proof of the people actually saying that they can't withdraw, and there's lots of people saying they had no problems withdrawing. So I think that's what's happened with Bet Fury is the same thing as Entropia. There's a community that fucking hates Bet Fury, and they despise it, and they always write bad reviews, probably because they lost their money playing on it. So I don't know how true it is, like just keep in mind there is like a half and half split. Yeah, a lot of online casinos I've noticed are loaded like that, where they do try to rob you. But when it came to good reviews, even though Bet Fury had a lot of bad reviews, I didn't find any that had better reviews. There is like a lot of people like it. And they're saying it's the next new big thing, so that's always like, hey, it's risky. Like, and then part two, a lot of the critics that hated Bet Fury were saying is they don't have all their licenses. And then you go onto the Bet Fury website, and it even says they have some of the licenses, but they're expanding for extra licenses for other countries so that they can legally be in all these other countries. So I think that's where the licensing confusion thing comes up. So I don't know, I could be wrong about that too. So just make sure you only invest what you can afford to lose. Or even in the reviews I was reading, the people that liked it, they said just play with the free money they give you. That way you actually don't have to worry. Ah, fuck, I'm all out of bullets. That sucks balls. Not in a good way. Well, no, but the other issue we were having with Bet Fury was that I couldn't show the list of everyone that's been helping because you needed 2 pages. The second page was broken. So what I did is I went onto the forum and I seen people complaining that the second page was broken. So I'm like, man, I'm going to file a customer support thing with Bet Fury. Just tell them that the second page is broken in case no one's actually told them that it's not working, the second page. So I did that, and guess what happened? Today the second page is fixed. So I don't know, if it was my message, I might be just like a little bit narcissistic thinking it was me, but I did send them a message asking them to fix it, and today it's fixed, so I'm happy about that. So now we can track everyone, or keep everyone up to tabs on the show who's winning the competition. It's not really a competition, but it's kind of neat too. Delete all the emails. So that's what I was thinking, like, it got the highest ratings Bet Fury did, and it got the lowest ratings, so it could still be a hit or miss operation. But at least they are giving us like everyone who talked about the BFGs just loved it. Like, hey, if you get into the shares, then you don't have to worry if you're losing because you're still getting your shares worth. And I was like, yeah, those BFG shares are where it's at. It's hard to beat that. All right, let's get back to some clone evolution here. So many different topics on my mind today. I'm trying to get my mind going just because sad news and all today, but hopefully throughout the week it'll get a bit easier. Alright, so we're at 2,000 or 2 million. Wow. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that they have to be a bot. Just because I know, like, when I first started on BetFury and I tried the Plinko game, it must have went for 2 days before I lost. So I was like, it seems like it does start off helping you win, and then it gradually gets harder the more you play. So maybe if you refer someone, they're gonna have really good luck for that first 2 days. Maybe even tell them like, "Yo, be careful. It's gonna start off good, but it's gonna get harder." That's what she said. Gotta get my mind out of the gutter for God's sakes. Will it ever end? Oh man, I really gotta get caught up on all my weed stuff. I gotta clean my vapor oil tank. I don't know if anyone's seen. Thing is so full. Must be like almost 200 bucks worth of oil in here. Gotta drain it out, put it in jars. Can't sell it because it's illegal to sell it, but I wouldn't sell it even if I could because no one else makes it, and I like vaporizing it. Well, there is a couple people that make it maybe because I gave a few prototypes away, but other than that. Now, the factory I was working with in China did get the blueprints from me to mass produce it because, well, they were some of the ones that helped me mass produce it. But I don't think they decided to start selling it until they seen if mine were going to sell. And mine never did, so I don't think they started. Now, that's the one genius method China has for controlling the manufacturing industry on the planet. Is that's one of the catches. Is if you want to work with the Chinese factory, in order for them to make your product cheaper, you got to give them all your blueprints. And then once they have all their blueprints, then they'll make it for you. But they're keeping a copy of those prints and they'll make it and copy it whenever they want. So that's really the risk you run when you get it there, but the price difference is ridiculous, right? I don't know. I was looking at different parts for my company, and we were looking at 200 bucks a part, and China was offering them for $2 a part. So to say that it was cheaper was an understatement. Nah, I've been talking to a few babes, but really, the chances of the lockdowns ending is really the only thing preventing it. I don't know if the lockdowns really will end in our lifetime. I'm not really into those virtual relationships. Where I know a lot of times girls will message me from other countries, no offense, but it's like as nice as it would be to have a long distance relationship that works. I'm pretty needy. I need constant physical attention to make it worthwhile to share all your free time, right? Realistically. No, because a relationship is a lot of work, right? And if you're not getting everything out of it, then it's not going to work. Who knows? Maybe some people can make long distance things work, but I just don't think I could. Now, I seem to have the worst luck with that too. Anytime I meet someone who's nice, it's probably because I'm meeting them on the internet, but they always live like on the other side of the fucking planet. Oh well, maybe it's for the best. I do like being single. Nah, that's the main reason I stay single too long too, is I'm so selfish with free time, right? You only have so much free time in your day. Do you really want to sacrifice it in order to keep someone else happy? Have to be a pretty special person. Or they actually like doing the same things you do. Then it makes it easier. But then that's the conflict too. If you end up meeting someone that likes all the same things you do, sometimes too much alike isn't really going to attract either. Now, I was reading about horoscope signs. They say horoscope signs, sometimes even the ones that are opposite, can work out the best. Like, oh, I forget what it is. Some signs are always about, like, having everything planned and organized, and then other signs are always doing everything wild and free-willed. Sometimes those two things work together, right? Or it can just drive each other nuts and lead to divorce. No, it is tempting to get back on the social, what is it called? Social media dating. What do they call them? Like Plenty of Fish or Tinder, all that shit. Because I was thinking before, all those dating apps, they always had to compete with nightclubs, right? So really, most of the best people would just go to nightclubs, and hardly anyone would actually use the dating apps. But now that nightclubs have shut down, there probably should be a wider variety of people actually on the dating apps now, right? No, I had the weird problem with dating apps where I was like, because I'm a guy that doesn't have like his life worked out exactly, like not having my own place, not having a car, not having a license. What most cases was, if I made a dating profile to try to attract women for our actual relationships, they'd be like, no way, because I didn't have anything to offer in a relationship. But if I made a dating profile to, hey, let's just hang out, have a good time, see you later the next day type thing, then I could get lots of replies. But I was like, it's kind of a fuck situation. I don't really like those situations because I don't know. I guess I'm not horrible germaphobe, but I just don't want to go randomly sleeping around with strangers you meet on the internet. It seems a little bit fucked up. I don't know. Maybe it's just my generation, but I guess I was just a little bit too old to start doing that. And it's probably not even an age thing. I don't know what it is. Hey, Dirty Towel, how's it going? George Washington, how's it going? Yeah, that's what my grandparents on my mom's side of the family used to always tell me. Like, you can't wait for the perfect relationship because only like 1% of the population ever really finds that, right? Like most situations are, you just have to find a relationship that's mediocre and try to make it into something good. That's a lot of work. You know what I think it is too when it comes to relationships, the whole being a lot of work thing? It's human nature, or pretty much anything that's alive nature. Not even alive, just even in nature too, but everything always takes the path of least resistance. And a lot of times in the past, it made more sense to get into a relationship because you'd had benefits. Not just the friends with benefits things, but you didn't have maternity leave. So there was actually a mutual need to help raise the child, right? And then there was also other benefits like for protection, like things were more dangerous back then. Couldn't hurt to actually have a bodyguard. There wasn't as many police around. So a lot of things in our society have changed where it's no longer really a benefit to anyone to be in a relationship. In most cases, they're sure there'll be the physical benefits, but as far as practical benefits, they get slimmer and slimmer. Every advantage we get in technology hinders families actually functioning. I'll never forget the time too. My old grandma on my mom's side of the family, she would talk about how my grandfather was so mean that if back then they could divorce and have like maternity leave or just alimony and taking money for child support, she would have divorced and started a new family a long time ago. So I always thought that in the back of my mind. It was actually modern life would have destroyed my family, and I would have never been born. But it was thanks to the old ways of old Europe, where you didn't have any divorces and you didn't have any maternity leaves or anything, that our whole family just bonded together because they needed each other. I don't understand how we ever thought families that didn't need each other would still bond, right? It's the whole chemistry thing. Things that are opposite or needing each other aren't going to attract. Now, I think Japan's a good example of that too. Didn't they have that where their society got so modern? There's so many social constructs that the family no longer requires each other, so they get to the point where they just have less families. If there's no need for it, why would you have it, right? That's the one thing I've always learned in electronics class. That's how circuits work in computers. They just make resistance more on one side and less on another side. That's how they can pick which side the electricity goes down the wires. Electricity follows the path of least resistance. Oh, thanks for the flowers, Suki. Same thing with catching animals in traps. What is it? Hunters don't need to put traps all over the entire fucking woods. They just put them on trails. Because the animals take the trail, step right in the fucking trap. They're taking the path of least resistance, and that's how they get caught. Alright, let's do the other collection. Maybe I'll do a couple of these battles. I haven't seen one in a while. See what it's like. Holy fuck. Yeah, you can tell it's been a while for this team. Yeah. And everyone's always chasing perfection these days. Isn't that the way with when people get really rich, too? That they're always chasing more money. So it really never matters how much money you get. You'll always be chasing that ultimate bank account. Yeah, that was some pretty good DNA. I don't know, every time I play these singularly, it seems like they give me great loot. And then when I pick the 10 times, it's hardly any good loot. I don't know what the fuck's with that. Yeah, Death to Frankenstein. I'm gonna have to do that as a gift for Suki. Suki, is your birthday coming up soon or anything? Maybe I'll sacrifice Frankenstein for it. Nah, I think I'm gonna start growing another 4 plants soon. I'm a little bit behind schedule. I really should have started in October. But couldn't hurt to maybe give the house a little bit rest on hydro bills. Yeah, I remember facing this pumpkin guy before. It was a pretty good challenge because he had that sweet reward with the chest. But now with my new heroes, looks like I'm able to tear him a new one. I noticed with Monkey King, he really does need the extra stars, right? As he is right now, he is kind of the weakest link on the team. Oh yeah, so that Harvard professor was on Joe Rogan's show, and he was also talking about the asteroid that, or what did he call it? Yeah, an asteroid. He said that the reason that all the scientists thought it was weird is because the asteroid came through and it was going faster than normal terminal velocity for asteroids. Because they say with meteors, if it's a meteor, it can have ice on it. And then if it's the ice melts and expands or whatever, it creates vapor and pushes the asteroid faster and faster and faster. But they said if it's just like an asteroid that's just made out of rock and doesn't have any water melting all the time, then it should reach a certain terminal velocity. And he said that's normally what happens. But this asteroid that came through our solar system, apparently it was an asteroid, but it had the speed of a meteor. So they're trying to figure out how to achieve this speed if it doesn't have any vapor pushing it. And then the other thing they wanted to test on it was they found out that the light reflection was changing. So they said normally if you send a flat object through space and like it just floats around, it'll emit a certain light change, because when the flat side's facing you, it changes a lot of light, like 30 times more, compared to when the edge is facing you and there's almost nothing, right? So he said that was part of the test they did too, is they found out that it was reflecting 30 times the light when it spun. So they're saying whatever it was looked like it was accelerating in speed somehow, and it was artificial because it was flat. And they said they actually were able to test this compared to other things because it happened before a few years ago, but it turned out it was just space debris. And what happened was is they, during the Apollo program, they had sent out some rocket debris, and they didn't realize it was going to come back in like 50 years or whatever. So who knows? The only reason they said that one wasn't likely that is because it was over a football field big. So it'd almost be too big to be any space debris that we'd sent out that we'd forgotten about. So I don't know, he has a whole book coming out about this asteroid that flew through our solar system. They said they wanted to investigate it more, but the speed that it achieved was already too fast than anything we could build to catch it. So it was like a super fast asteroid. I didn't even hear about the asteroid, so it's kind of neat. Joe Rogan's got some okay guests every now and then. I always figured if aliens were going to contact us, maybe it would be during a pandemic, right? Like, oh fuck, the civilization's going to die from a virus. We better go in there and save their butts now. Although I highly doubt anyone's coming to save us. Yeah, excuse me. Oh yeah, thanks for the likes, everyone. 7 viewers and 4 likes. It's not a bad ratio. Now, the worst is when I went on Tinder or whatever that the hookup website is. Fucking smoking hot blonde chick said she wanted to hook up with me for her birthday. I was like, dear God. How I ever said no to that? Something's wrong with me. Probably because I knew it'd be a horrible, disappointing birthday present. Maybe she said it was just like a normal event, and I'd be like, okay, won't be that bad to devastate you. Or disappoint, I should say, not devastate. Not that bad. I don't know if it's lacking self-confidence or just too realistic. Nah, seriously, I do gotta lose some weight still. Now, beer bellies are not very aerodynamic. You can tire out pretty quickly with them, right? No, hopefully this week was the roughest week I've had in a while, but I think the worst is hopefully behind me. I should be able to start getting back on track, cutting back from eating sweets like fucking crazy. Now, I think what it is too is once you've been single for a while, you start to almost not want to get into a relationship again because you start to get addicted to how nice it is being single. Has to be a pretty special person. Like these days in our society, what really do we have time to do? Most people have to go to work, 2 jobs, just to pay rent. Almost no free time. Maybe now with the lockdowns we got more free time, but now we have free time to do nothing. We can't even visit people. I don't know. I think what they said the rules for us right now is if you live alone, you're still allowed to communicate with other humans, but only 5, and it has to be outdoors. So can't really go inside. I guess people are worried about getting caught making out outside, but everyone will have masks on, so it shouldn't be that bad. Imagine the police. They're like, "Why are there so many naked people making out with masks outside?" It's like the only thing legal these days. Now that must be pretty exciting for people on dating apps now. It's like the biggest crime, like the good old prohibition days. It's like having a relationship. It's like, ooh, you met someone, you actually went to see them. Ooh. It's like you're facing felonies for that. Yeah, who'd ever thought? Like, all my friends in the days when I was really hardcore into conspiracy stuff, we'd always joke that this stuff was coming. Like, the government was gonna lock everyone inside and take away your jobs. It was a big joke. Who would ever thought it would come? That's why I was thinking conspiracy stuff would almost be too depressing to get into now, because it all came true. At least before you could laugh about it. Be like, ah ha ha, it's probably just a myth, it'll never happen. No, I think what it is too, sometimes I'm too nice. Because I realize that I'm a pretty annoying person in majority of cases. So most people are probably going to be better off finding someone else. Sad as it is to say. I don't know, unless I can find someone who like also is like a really annoying person. We can annoy each other equally. That might be not so bad. Can't be like a total one-sided thing. Bless me. Holy God. No, don't worry, I wasn't coughing, I was just sneezing. I don't know if sneezing's any better. Alright, we're getting some good damage in here. Boom. I know what it is too. Like most women you meet these days, really what they're after is having kids. So if you're not going to be having kids, it makes dating a little bit more weird too, right? They always say that there's billions of people that you can meet on the planet, and that if you can't find someone, you're not really looking hard enough. But I always find that figure kind of funny, because there's 8 billion people, but not all of them are female. So then you can have to cut that number in half. Not to mention all the people on the planet aren't really within my vicinity. There's really just going to be the people that were within my general city. So that 4 billion gets cut down to like 1 million. And in those 1 million people that are left, only how many of them are even your age, right? So it's funny, like the 8 billion people, why can't you meet anyone? Nah, I shouldn't really look on it so pessimistically, right? Try to be more optimistic. I'm sure the world's going to be improving any day now. Any day now. Nah, I figure realistically, once once the lockdown is over, I'll probably start getting out more. And then when I start getting new hobbies, that's probably how I'm going to meet someone. Because usually that is really the best way to meet someone. Not dating apps, not just randomly at nightclubs, but to actually meet someone who shares like actual practical interests. So that way, even if you have complete opposites and everything else, you'll always have that one common interest. Alright, there we go. Gold chest. See if we can get our hands on the chest. Excuse me. Now I gotta stop drinking these fucking sugary drinks. I got into drinking them. Oh, they're horrible. Now I'm just checking to see if it has the kosher mark. Yes, it does. See, that's when I got really into the conspiracy stuff. Did you ever notice every product that we drink, it's got that little label? I don't know. Can't make it. Might be able to make it out. Oh, that was the wrong label. Yeah, the one in black. Basically what it says is a little R with a circle around it and then MD. Like medical doctor. Now it turns out, if anyone doesn't know what that is, that's the kosher tax. So it's weird, eh? It's like a lot of people that aren't even religious are always paying taxes to have their products blessed. I'm surprised how many products have it. So that's what drives some people nuts with the conspiracy thing. Ah, fuck. Should have been paying attention. Half my team, or all my team died. Fuck. Yeah, but just because some religion's collecting money from blessing stuff, I don't really think it means they're all out to get you. If I could tax everyone, I would be. It's like, you will all pay my tax. Alright, let's go back to water element, see if we can smoke them with that. No, I was joking with my one buddy at work. We're like, how many products can we find that have been blessed, like the kosher symbol on it? There's a whole list of different kosher symbols. We even started finding products that weren't even food. It's like we found tinfoil that was blessed. It's like, better not be using the unholy tinfoil. The ungodly tinfoil. It's the worst kind. Sacrilege. Man, that sucked. I was hoping I could get the gold chest another day, but I was fucking not paying attention and got my ass whooped. I should have switched teams sooner. Fuck. Right, maybe move her. Him. Man, that'd be a lot of water. I want to try it just to see if we can freeze the shit out of them. Oh man, if you love tinfoil hats, I've got the ultimate tinfoil hat guy I've ever met. I shouldn't make fun of him because he's my neighbor up north, but he took the tinfoil hat thing to a whole new level. He did his whole fucking house in tinfoil, and he put flowers on it made of tinfoil. So I was like, that was pretty impressive. Fuck! Come on, crime fighter. Can you not just live? Is it too much to ask for you to live? Yeah, you never know. Life things can change, right? Like, who knows? Maybe one day I'll meet someone who's a podcaster and she'll be like, hey, I live in the same town as you. Want to team up and do podcasting? I'd be like, all right. That would probably be an ideal relationship, but the odds of that happening are pretty slim. But you never know. When YouTube community, there are more and more people starting a podcast. Ah, shit, we finished with one away. Fucking hell. Yeah, so we're over the hour mark, so let's try to get a little bit more battles in before we wrap up. If there's anything anyone wanted to see specifically in the game, just give me a shout out in the chat for it, and I'll start working on it while we're doing the patron shout outs and stuff. But for now, I'll just set it to. Did we do the guild battles? Yeah, I think I started with that. Yeah. Did I get that one? 10 hours. Yeah. Alright, let's do the dungeon. Excuse me. No, if anyone put any messages in the guild chat, fuck, I haven't checked that out for a while. Alright, first thing we'll give a shout out, because I think I forgot to give everyone a shout in the chat last time, so I'll have to make sure we do that first. Fuck, that's annoying. I hate it when I forget to give the viewer shout out, because you guys are the most important part. Guys and ladies. Alright, Warzard the Board Time Lord. Madiman and Hellman. Fear Legions. Oh, jeez, I almost read your name again. Suki, you're gonna catch me one time with that. You gotta change it soon. God, someone's gonna get a soundbite of me saying that. Alright, anyways. So, Warzard the Board Time. Oh, yeah, Spyro. She made it. Thanks for joining again. George Washington, Dirty Towel. Alright, so thanks everyone for joining. Oh yeah, the sponsor message. Thanks, almost forgot. Let's do the late sponsor message. Today's late sponsor message is brought to you by Crack. Crack. It'll fuck you up. Woo! I'm trying to think where I got that woo from. I think it was one of my friends up north. The last time we were up there partying, he started doing the woo thing when he got really hammered. And it was contagious. Woo! Yeah, crack is horrible. It's definitely ruined a lot of my friends' lives. That's why when I make fun of it, at the same time, I feel horrible because I'm like, fuck. So many people I know that actually did lose their lives to it, so kind of sucks. But hey, everything isn't peachy in life. We got to be able to make fun of some shit. If you can't make fun of crack, what can you make fun of these days, right? No, I definitely wouldn't get into making fun of, what is it, Oxycontin, because dear God, how many lives that's taken these days. That's another bad one. Alright. So let's go to something a little bit more bright. Let's go to, yeah, the Bet Fury. Yeah, someone was saying in the comments that they hated Bet Fury. They're like, it's from China. I was like, so if it was from China, I'm supposed to hate it? It's like, don't you know? It's from China. I'm like, pretty sure if it was in China, it wouldn't even be on the internet, because, like, don't they have a different internet than us? But I could be wrong about that. I guess it's really bad if a casino is based out of China. I'll have to check into that. Now, I went over the whole BetFury page to try to find out, like, a About Us section, and I don't think I did. The only thing I found was, like, a news segment where they were talking about how they're trying to get their betting licenses in every country. So I was like, that's kind of neat. I think it said that underneath. About cashback, no. No. I think it was news. There was a button that said news somewhere. Oh, there it is, news. Yeah, it looks like this next battle is going to be a little bit challenging to beat this Symphony guy. But I bet you if I move characters around, change items, I bet you I could beat him. It's probably that Monkey King. If I substitute him with someone with a more special ability, I could probably pull this victory off. Right, anyways, right now I don't think we're going to beat him, so let's go check out the BetFury while this wraps up, because I can't even skip it. Alright, there it is. So I'll show you guys the first news, and ladies, referral. When I go down to the bottom, now I can actually see page 2. Hopefully I didn't jinx it and it won't work now. There we go, I'll put it a bit higher. Yeah, now you can see it. So we can see that Kilo, he has already made it to VIP level 2, which I thought is weird because he's not at the 0.1 yet. The only thing I'm thinking is maybe his Ethereum bets helped him to break the limit. So that's pretty wild. Holy shit. Sorry, guys. While we were checking out BetFury, my team managed to pull off the victory there. I didn't even think we had a chance. Alright, so I'll get the next battle going and we'll go back to summarizing BetFury. Hey, I had the water element too. What the fuck? My team couldn't even use that ability. Dear God, what a nightmare. Now let's go back. So the 2 users that just signed up, they haven't done much yet, but Go Bastos, he's up to 3,000. So it looks like the weather in Portugal was probably that snow came. Maybe he started playing. Or was it just Spain that got it? Anyways, I know we're starting to get snow tonight, so hopefully I'll get some shoveling work tomorrow. But anyways, so congratulations to Kilo. He made it up to 9... What is that? 900,000? Or is that 9 million? Yeah, that's 9 million. So yeah, he's up to 9 million. He has to make 10 million in order to get level 2. But it already says level 2. So I wish I could ask him. I don't know who Kilo is yet. It could be just a random person, because I've been sharing my referral with a lot of places. Alright, so who else do we got? Suki, she's still at 15 wager. She probably hasn't found time to do it. I know she's got that trip coming up, and I'd be getting ready for that, not playing BetFury. Man, if I could go on trips, I'd be the fuck out of here. Yeah, anyways, so user, 3 users there. Then Mr. Palixo, he's up to 3,000. Cinder, holy shit, she's at 98,985. So she's damn close to making the 1%. And you can see that I just made it to 5% recently too. So fuck, I'm not much ahead. I'm gonna have to start gaining again. Gotta get back to betting more. Right, anyways, Nutroll, he's at 51,000. Euros, he's at 13,000. And Elementus is at 813. Holy shit, the Clone Evolution battle is close. Right, I guess we'll just do that for today. Maybe next episode we'll check out my cashback. Or, yeah, we got cashback and staking to collect today. Wow, it's quite a bit. Holy shit, 15 minutes over. Alright, we gotta hurry up, wrap up this battle. So we'll get to the patrons next. I'll try to finish the patrons quick, because finishing quick is my specialty. Now, patron, we got Jim, Ray, and Travis. And the Jimmy Ray Travis song will be coming out soon. Hopefully soon. I'm not trying to rush the song because we want to make it pretty decent, but it's going to be an evolving song too. So we'll keep maybe the old versions, but it'll keep evolving as we add more and more people to it. Or subtract. I'm just kidding. No, even if you can only afford 1 month, we'll still keep you on the list. So don't feel bad if you want to subscribe and then just cancel. Now, I think I was seeing that when I was reading my horoscope the other day too. They're saying that's one of the traits of Sagittarius. They say the longer you go single, the more and more your self-confidence drops. So I was like, maybe I do got that a little. I try not to though. Alright, so let's get back. What else was there? That's what I love about getting in shape though. Once you get into shape, that's really when you start getting more self-confidence, right? Because there's only certain artificial ways you can boost self-confidence. Like by getting tattoos, maybe getting implants, or whatever else you're going to try. But when it comes down to like just being in shape, that's probably the best one, man. Hey, we're getting close to level 420. I'm sure Suki remembers what day that is. Oh, if you want to know how to play Suki, just pick, once you get a balance saved up. Here, I'll show you right now. It's actually not that hard to play. The annoying thing with Bet Fury is when you do the strategy I'm going to show you, some days it'll work and some days it won't. So it's like, it kind of sucks. Some days you lose all your Satoshi and you have to start over. But other days it works and you're like, holy fuck, it worked really good. So I'd say if I try it out of 7 days, maybe it works 2 or 3 of the days. There's a lot of misses. But anyway, so if you have time, like shit, if I lived in New Zealand, I don't think there's any way I'd be playing Bet Fury. I'd be fucking out, or not fucking outside. I'd be laying outside on the beaches. I wish fucking outside. No, that's Canada in the fucking snow. Yeah, Queenstown the 26th. That's fucking sweet. Yeah, you're so lucky. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Suki's like living the dream, eh? Level 400 in Clone Evolution in New Zealand, no lockdowns. It's like, holy shit. It's like, anyone want to trade lives with Suki here? Now, I shouldn't jinx you. Next thing you know, there'll be a fucking Queenstown earthquake right while you're there. And you almost drowned on your last trip, I guess, too. So it's not all peachy, right? Yeah, I can't believe. Yeah, it better not be drowning on this trip. Jesus. Make sure you don't eat and then go swimming, right? That's what they say. Or no hiking. Anything that'll cause cramps. Your parents will have more to worry about than 420. Right, so yeah, let's check. Looks like we're gonna get our asses wiped in this level. So we'll go and check out Bet Fury. So this Bet Fury thing is kind of annoying because most of the games you all need a good size minimum bet. But thankfully, you just go up here to the top where it says all games, click there, click in-house. Now all these games on the in-house list, you can do with 1 Satoshi. So even if you get 1, you can place a bet. So once you have 100 or 2, I've even done this trick with 100, but it works better with 2. Just pick Plinko. It's the easiest game that you can just let it run on its own, so you don't even have to watch it. And then you just click here, make sure it goes all the way down to 2. And then once it's on 2, hit auto. Now it's a game of Plinko, just like Price is Right. Wherever these balls land in the green slots, it will give you the prize value. and we're timesing it by 2 because that's what I bet. Technically, I tried it for a while, timesing it by 4. It works really good, but it's a little bit risky because you can go bankrupt faster. So I like to just let it run at 2 usually. And there is a trick too on when you're playing it on 2, this 3 slot becomes the same value as a 5 because they can't divide the 2 any smaller. So 5 is the lowest they could actually divide it. So anyway, so that's the trick. You just let it run, and then once this account thing here goes up, you'll notice you're getting shares of the casino. And that's what you win when you're trying to do Bet Fury, is you're trying to get VIP level 2, and you're trying to get shares of the casino. The Satoshi really doesn't matter, because they just keep giving you free Satoshi every day anyways. And it doesn't take too long to save up 100 or 2. Like maybe, what, 5 hours, 6 hours, something like that. You don't have to play the whole time, you just do those CAPTCHA things whenever you're bored. So yeah, that's the whole trick with Bet Fury. Just let it run. You can try this trick with the other games, but I find it works best with Plinko because you can set it on auto. And I like to just let it run while I do other stuff. I'm pretty busy too, so I don't really have a lot of time to bet. So it's nice how it can just bet automatically. Yeah, Plinko is bad. I've luck maybe 2 days out of 7. So most of the days it just fails and I lose all my money. But I'm getting the shares of the casino. That's all I care about. Oh yeah, and if you want to get the VIP level, I'll show you. So if you go to staking is, oh fuck, I should have stopped the game before I left. Oh well. Staking is, or no, it's cash back. See, this cash back is how much you're betting, and you get some of it back if you lose. Oh, that reminds me, Spyro, you should have got a whole bunch of BFG cash back if you lost some cash or some BFGs. So anyways, not a whole lot, but at least a portion of what you lost. Alright, so anyways, this cash back, the VIP level, just like Clone Evolution, if you go up a rank, you get more back. So you want to get VIP too. And in order to make VIP 2, you have to get your bet up to 0.1. And in order to get to 0.1, you're going to have to let this Plinko run probably for quite a while. So I'll show you where my Plinko, I ran it to, where does it say? I'm at 500,000, so I'm almost up to 10%. If I get 1 million, then I'll be at 10%. And this is just from running Plinko. I didn't deposit or anything. So Plinko's not the hardest thing to do. Yeah, 4 BFGs, that's fucking sweet. Well, I bet you within a week or 2 you'll be back to 10. Especially if you're doing the Plinko trick and you have some luck. It's only when the Plinko trick fails it sucks. It does fail a lot, but man, some days let it run for like 7 hours just on 100 Satoshi and it kept going. So that was sweet. Alright, so we'll wrap up this, and yeah, I'll save the other Bitcoin casino for another time because we're running late, or we'll see if it's there. If it's there, we'll do it. Yeah, it's there. Right, so I got 147,858 Satoshi on this one. Let's give it a roll. Boom. So we made it up to 147,863 Satoshi. So thanks everyone who's been helping with that. Fucking man, the lottery. Last lottery round, almost made it up to like 1,000 tickets. And it was because my referrals were helping out so much. I didn't even notice, but I made it up to 73. Actually, I was at 74 earlier, so I just lost one, but sure. Oh yeah, we just disconnected from the game, so I'll go jump right to the affiliate links. That worked out well. Right, so anyone else who wants to help out, if they're not in this situation where they are old enough to do the donate or to help out on casinos and play those games, you can also do it with Patreon. You can also do it with just sharing the show. I appreciate it when everyone shares the show too. Soon I'm going to have my next computer arriving, and once I'm doing that, I should be able to multi-share. So if anyone has a Facebook group that they want me to share it in, let me know. I wish we knew the administrator from the Facebook one. If anyone knows them or knows who they are, let me know. Because I don't want to be sharing my live stream on there if they get really upset by it. So it's sucks when you get into Facebook jail. But anyway, so Society 6 finishing quick is my specialty. It's a saying that comes on t-shirts and bed sheets. And it's a saying very popular with the ladies. You can tell that's how I get my self-confidence. Anyways, Hideout TV is a place that'll pay you to watch videos. Swagbucks will pay you to shop online. GameKit will pay you to play video games. And Free Bitcoin is a place that we just checked out. Almost forgot. Oh yeah, the virtual maid sex machine is for adults and men only. But if ladies need a sex machine, they know who to call. Just kidding. Unless lockdowns ever end. Sure they'll end someday. If you're living in New Zealand, they never even happened, barely. Alright, so let's get out of here. We'll wrap up the show. Did I give everyone in the chat a shout out? I don't think I did, for fuck's sakes. Alright, let's go do that. Remember I said I was going to do it first, so I didn't forget, and then I forgot. Alright, Warzard the Board Time Lord, Fear Legions. Suki, I already did the shout out. Yeah, I did. Now I'm remembering. As soon as I got to Suki's name, I'm like, I almost said the name last time. So thank you, Suki. You helped me remember. Your horrible name. It triggers my memory. Right. Not that your real name is horrible. I'm not even sure if it is your real name, so let's continue. Alright, where is the affiliate links? Yeah, we did virtual maid. Oh yeah, the click show more information. Judson Weebly. Thanks everyone. If I forgot anyone's name in the chat, just let me know and I'll read it twice, which might even happen if I don't forget anyone. Alright, see you later. But we'll do the fire screen next. Fire! Right, if you happen to get any of Crime Fighter's water in your vaporizer and he tastes like shit, then give the show a dislike. Because water always sucks in the vaporizer. But if that doesn't happen, you can help the show with a like. Really appreciate it. Just make sure, never buy the products from my sponsor, because it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. See you later. Holy shit, hour and a half. Fuck, I'm the worst at wrapping up quick. Alright, so if you're doing the Plinko thing, you have to make sure you have it on auto and you have it letting it run. Because I'm pretty sure if you haven't let it run on Plinko and you have about 200 to 300 Satoshi saved up, you should be able to win about 2 or 3 BFGs. Unless you lose it all really quick, but if you're a new player, they usually let you win a little bit more at the beginning. Alright, so good luck everyone. Try not to get addicted to gambling, especially if you live somewhere nice and you can enjoy the outdoors. It's a lot better than any casino. Alright, later.